Alli.
Well. Hey everyone, it's Alex.
I'm Allison.
And this is Traumedy. And have
Sure
we got
is.
some trauma? Anyway, I think if you're a regular listener, you'll notice we're missing someone.
Chloe Rose.
She fell in love with Paris and never came back.
She stayed there.
We miss you, Chloe.
We do.
No,
Chloe
but,
is not here because unfortunately we all got COVID.
Not we all.
Oh, no. The girls got COVID.
He is testing negative,
He is.
even though he lives with her.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Alex we live together and I came home. Well, here's the thing, guys.
Let's give him the tea.
Here's the thing is we all tested negative prior to our departure,
Which is
from Paris.
the rules.
Yeah. Like we had to provide our proof of vaccination
Right.
and we had to have a negative COVID test within 48 hours of leaving. We got it the day before we left. So
Okay.
at like
So not
11
even-
a.m., like our
In
flight,
the 24-hour zone.
yeah, our flight was at like 1 p.m. on the
Okay.
Thursday. And we took our test at like 11 a.m. on Wednesday and we got them. They were like, we got them like an hour later. Like it was
Okay.
pretty quick.
Okay.
So we all tested negative and we were like, great, we're in the clear. And then we got home and all felt so bad. And I took the first test.
Almost immediately. I was like, you want to take a
I
test?
walked in the door and I was like, something's not right.
She felt feverish.
Yeah. And I took a home antigen test and it was
Could not have said
immediately
positive faster.
Yeah. Like I thought Alex was kidding.
She thought I was doing a con.
Yeah. Because I was like, I took it was sitting on the counter and then we were just chatting and
For seconds.
Yeah.
It was like,
and immediately he was like, Allison, it is positive. And I was like, you're kidding. Like, first of all, it hasn't even been the like 10 minutes you wait.
and,
Like I was thinking like full pregnancy tests, like you wait
Yeah.
and it doesn't
No.
show up until like the last like minute. But so yeah,
She was pregnant with COVID.
yes, I was.
And it was just her and Chloe, right? It was just the two of you showing symptoms initially.
Yeah, like I had a sore throat and I had started to feel a fever and Chloe like we at the same time started feeling badly.
Symptomy. And
yeah.
then you kind of all trickled off.
Yeah, and
shortly
then
there.
like
Haley was pretty quick.
a few hours later Haley took a test and hers was or wait, did she start
I don't
feeling
think
bad?
I think she just started feeling it
Yeah.
gross. And then Megan a day after that.
Yeah.
And then
And Karina
just now.
tested positive.
It's been like almost a week.
I know. I don't understand what happened there, but yeah.
But let's just be clear that you guys were safe. It wasn't like you guys recklessly traveled. Like you followed all the rules.
Yeah.
You were aware that this was going on and you were as careful as... I mean, we've gone to Disney. We've done escape rooms. We've done so much. We've gone to West Hollywood.
Yeah, like we've had friends that have gone to Vegas and back and been fine.
Yeah.
And like you had to have a test.
Yeah.
Or you had to be vaccinated to go to Europe.
Oh,
And
right.
we
Okay.
all like have that and
the
then
boosters.
we had to wear a mask on the subway and we had to I think they had just lifted restrictions on like all of the restaurants and stuff. Like you didn't have to wear
okay.
one going in.
Okay.
But you had to on like the subway and anything like underground. And so we did that and we went to London one day and we had to wear a mask the whole time on the train ride there and then in the subway in London and even in some stores, I think. So like you
followed the rules.
Yeah.
So you were safe, you were vaxxed, you were boosted, and you still got it.
Yes. And it was, I think, all of our first time. So
It was,
it was
yeah.
pretty devastating because I thought that I was going to go this whole time without ever getting it. And dang.
And knock on wood, I have not... sorry, Stanley. No, I'm sorry. Stanley, I'm sorry. Nope, that was me. I have not gotten it because I have superhero blood.
Yeah. And Alex graciously helped take care of me because the first...
I got her soup.
Yeah,
oh,
he got
because why
soup.
don't you tell everyone what happened to you days before getting COVID?
Oh my gosh, you guys. Had it rough. So the second night we were in Paris, Karina and I got food poisoning.
Oh,
So,
of course.
so we landed and we had a good dinner, and then we had a full day the next day, and then the day after that. So I guess like technically our third day of being there.
Okay.
And it could have been an oyster. It could have been a mystery meat on a charcuterie board, but Karina and I got food poisoning for a night, and then I was better like within 24 hours after that. Better meaning like
you could go to the Eiffel Tower and
like I
participate in
pulled
things.
myself together to go see the Eiffel Tower, and then like I went back home and went to bed after that while the girls went to dinner, because like I could not fathom eating.
And you just had
anything.
meat for like the first time a few days ago.
Yeah, like
Couldn't do
anything
it.
that was meat like sounded repulsive to me. So I was really just having like croissants, and I had French onion soup, and that was delicious. But I could not fathom having meat until like 2 days ago. So
And then once you tested positive for COVID, I was on the hunt for chickenless chicken noodle soup.
yeah, I was like, can you give me chicken noodle soup minus the chicken?
And they have it. They had it.
Yeah.
So that worked out.
Yeah,
But now
for the
she's
vegans
feeling a
out
lot
there.
better. Yeah, for the vegans.
But
You
yeah, so
feeling
I had a
better?
rough like week and a half of illness, but I have bounced back pretty quickly from COVID. I had pretty mild symptoms after my fever broke. It was kind of just a cough and
Sore throat. You have not had a cough drop in your mouth at all times.
I was sleeping with a cough drop.
so
I could not fall asleep without it. So that's
God.
probably dangerous.
yeah, it is dangerous. Just period.
Yeah.
We'll probably get into your Paris stories and stuff
Yeah.
when Chloe's back in, right?
Yeah, I feel like we should talk about like
All
the shenanigans.
Yeah, the shenanigans, because there's some funny things.
but
in there.
overall, like it was so cool. I love history.
Oh my God, and the crazy thing that happened to you guys.
Oh my God, yeah, we
on
have
the
a
first
crazy
day.
story.
We're going to wait.
Yeah.
Because it's intense. But it involves our friend Megan.
Yeah.
Well,
Our
it
friend
involves all of
Megan.
them, but our friend Megan. Anyway, I'm so
Yeah.
glad you're feeling better, and hopefully everyone just keeps getting better and we don't have anyone feeling worse.
I hope that you don't get it.
I
We're
think I'm
putting
clear.
it here that
I'm not going to contract COVID-19,
yes,
whatever strain this is.
B2.
B2. Way less intimidating than Omicron. Anyway, so we are going to kind of cut this episode a little short. We're going to do just an abbreviated version.
Yeah.
I have wanted to recap my coming out episode. It just sounds so dramatic to say that.
Recap.
But like kind of touch base on some of the people that have reached out, and I thought, well, this could be a good opportunity to do that because we have already been exposed to each other, so that is why we can be together. Chloe is not as on the mend as Allison, and could not fathom getting herself over here, nor would I want her to do that. So
yeah.
we she's taken the week to rest, but we know you're listening.
Although she was already trying to plan a Disney trip
She was.
for when we test negative. I was like, Chloe, we need a second.
Yeah, I think Haley was like, or something like that. One of you said like, I can't even think about this right now. Haley has
Well, we
to
have
write a
season
paper.
passes now, so
Right.
we're like trying to like
Get our money's
get there.
worth.
Yeah.
And we will. All in good time. But for now, yeah. So, and then what? Did anything else go on this week?
You had the dogs alone.
So I was alone. I can recap that. So I was alone. I watched the pups. They were great. Well, they were both had one rough night each, and then everything was fine.
Ugh, you guys.
It really stresses Allison out.
There's like
As if a
something
dog isn't
about
going to be a
it.
dog sometimes.
I know, but I get really my Macy is 11. She's going to be 12 next month.
She is also currently laying like a princess under this table on a
she's
dog
so
bed.
cute. And she was a perfect angel for 10 years. And then when the pandemic hit, she like a light switch went off and she was triggered by something, and she truly
Her
like,
and a lot of people in the
changed
world.
as a dog. Yeah. And bye.
See ya. She knows we're
She
talking
got
about her.
And she developed like these like deep anxieties with lots of sounds and all of that. And she started doing things that she had never done before. And one of them is having accidents when she gets like super triggered by a sound, and she like drinks water incessantly. And
She's doing it right now.
she's doing it right now. I've already had her checked for diabetes. So thank you for those comments. But like, she just like something changed in her. And so it makes me very sad and stressed out. And I think like in the me moving here and bringing her into another new environment when she had just moved across the country, like moving here stressed her out. And
yes,
so
I think it's a little bit of that, but a little bit of Stanley lives in his own dog routine.
True.
Before Macy, Stanley was a self-moderator, he would self-moderate his eating habits. So I always just had food in his bowl because he would only eat when he was hungry and he never overate. Macy cannot be like that.
No, she will devour whatever is there.
So we have worked to now train Stanley on an eating schedule, but at night he gets a night meal to himself in my room.
He's a prince.
He's a prince, and because he doesn't eat a full serving when we feed him with Macy. Hey, girl. So I give him a little bit of kibble in my room with a little bowl of water because he also self-moderates his water. Macy loves that there's water in my room, and
she will not stop drinking. She doesn't know how to stop.
She would not stop drinking it.
Like,
so I told Allison we got into a routine, and Stanley.
Okay.
This is it's 1 second, Mace. Let me just finish this up, and then we'll promise.
Yeah.
Stanley knows there's water downstairs, and if he really wants it, he'll go downstairs now instead of having it in my room. And we did fine.
I know.
Everyone did great.
I just want her to be the perfect dog again, and I am stressed by it.
Well, he peed upstairs one night, which was his bad night. And the way I found out is because when I got up the next morning, he was trying to bury it.
He knew that he was
trying
to
cover it up. And I was
like,
Stan. So one bad night is nothing compared to the rest, which were very easy nights.
There you go.
And now we're going to take a brief break
because
to
she's
let
got to
Macy
go
outside.
That's just my dramedy.
Oh, jumping back real quick. Macy has been taken care of.
She had to go potty real bad.
So good girl. Allison's birthday present finally came in.
Oh my God. Wow.
She's wearing them. You can't really tell, but they are a pair of earrings that were designed by one of our favorite people in the whole world. Jimin of a little band called BTS.
A little
group. A little K-pop
Not many
group.
people know them.
Yeah, it's okay. It's very
exclusive.
Exclusive.
Yeah.
I was like, inclusive? Anyway, so these earrings were impossible to find, and then I found them.
Wow. It truly, so they, the group did, they got to design their own merch. And
pretty cool.
As soon as it went live, it was
gone.
Sold out. I had an alarm set for the ones that I really
matter.
wanted, and it did not matter. As soon as I got on the site, it was gone.
Well, these are really dope, and the packaging was cool too.
We'll post a pic.
Yes,
I'm
very
so
cool.
excited.
I was so bummed because they got in the day you left.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like,
and you couldn't not tell me.
Right.
It couldn't be a surprise. You were
but
I
was
have to tell you right now.
And you could have had them for Paris, and then.
You know, honestly, I would have been really scared that I would have lost them. So I'm kind of
true.
not mad about it.
Yeah, I get it.
Like going on a trip with something scares me rather than wearing it in real life.
You're right. I get it.
But thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I love them.
But yeah, so I got my hair cut.
You did, and you're not showing them. Why?
It's a hat kind of day. Head over to my gram. You'll see.
It is shorty.
So I wanted to, I mentioned it earlier, but just kind of recap just for a little bit. I just want to really give some encouragement because I don't know that anyone's listening to this that was in my similar situation, but maybe you know someone who is, or you've experienced it with a friend or something. I just want to say that the outpouring of support that I've gotten since that episode came out has been, I guess, not surprising. It's not like I expected people to be mean. It's just, I guess I didn't expect most of the people who've reached out to reach out. Maybe that's it. It is our highest streamed episode, so that does tell me that the gossip around Indiana, the Indiana gossip train has led people to at least listen to that episode, and that's fine.
I think it's okay that you were surprised. I think you knew that there would be people that would reach out in a positive way, but I think it's okay that you were surprised that there were so many.
I was, and a lot of them people. The more surprising is most of the people that hit me up. Like I have not been good about getting back to people because it is pretty overwhelming to hear from. Like one of the people that reached out to me is my uncle, and I would have just we don't ever talk, so it was just shocking to hear from him at all. And then of course there was also the negative, finding out from a cousin that an aunt was mad at Chloe and I for making this was like a little shocking. Didn't expect that.
The ep or the whole podcast?
The whole podcast, but it came after that episode. Because remember, as we were raised, you don't talk about your problems.
Yeah.
You don't tell the family's business. But anyway, if you're listening and you are someone that reached out to me and I haven't reached back out to you, I'm not ignoring you. I am just really honestly still composing myself from all of this because so much of my life has changed since coming out in May, late May of life. It hasn't even been a year. So bear with me because it's wild.
Yeah. It's hard. Sometimes it's hard for me to
you don't
like
know me
empathize because I don't know if
I'm
empathize is the right word, but it's hard for me to understand sometimes because, I met you, I guess it was shortly after, but like
so shortly after.
I feel like your spirit when I met you, like gave me no indication of like the
heaviness of what was going on.
It's hard for me to wrap my mind around like your life prior. So
I think it's a universe thing too, or God or whatever you want to call it. 'Cause we talk about it a lot that it is incredibly odd that our paths never cross because of how much we're connected by other people and just growing up in Indiana.
Yeah, we're very connected through
same
people,
age, same
other
grade,
people in Indiana, like outside
wild.
of Chloe.
Yeah, so it was I don't know. I mean, it's not that I don't think we would have been friends. It's just I think it would have been different. And having met me post this, it's almost like a different level of friendship because you're like, I'm brand new and you're knowing the brand new me. Yeah. Which is pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And special.
It's so special.
It's so special. I don't have Chloe here, so you're going to have to sing with me. But anyway. Something I did want to kind of address a little bit is a big thing that in the people reaching out, the big thing that most of the people got from it was the religious aspect of things. And how the church played such a big part in my trauma and wanting to keep this thing a secret. And I just kind of want to address that a little bit because I know Chloe and I talk about it a lot or nod to or joke about how the religious upbringing, but it was such a monumentally life altering way to be raised. When you're raised in something like a religion, period, it is your identity. And I think I always attributed a lot of my closetedness to the church, but it wasn't until reading these emails and texts and DMs that I was like, oh, it wasn't so much my parents, it was so much the church. Mm-hmm. And I have put so much not blame, because I'm on this journey for a reason and I'm learning, but a lot of the pressure of my closetedness on my parents, the way that they raised me, but the church is who raised them, and that is where they put all their stake. Everything was in the church, and I was like, it was really it was good for me to read this. It gave me some perspective from people who empathized with what was going on in my life, and then kind of throwing their own story into it as well. Mm-hmm. That was really eye-opening for me. It was good. I'm happy to have a different perspective on it. It's given me a lot more patience with my parents and not feeling so sad about it all the time, to be like, they only know what they know. And I knew exactly the same thing they knew until I decided to
not live there anymore.
Not live there anymore. Yeah. So
yeah, you had multiple people reach out to say that they had traumatizing experiences in the church. In the church,
yeah. It was kind of tied into those two episodes. Mm-hmm. But I think a big part of my trauma is talking about like church camp and how that all went down. I think that it all ties into the closeted nature of the way that I, grew up. But, so thank you for, saying anything to me, because that has been really helpful in my healing journey, because talking about it alone was helpful and way more helpful than I thought it was. Getting to redo it, because the first time was a hot freaking mess, guys.
Oh yeah, I truly forgot that we did
and I have it saved because I'm like, maybe there's something to learn in that, because it is like listening to it's like I had alcohol for the first time or something. The way that I was acting, it was just.
I mean, I was there. I don't think that it sounded as bad as you think it did, but
regardless,
everything happens for a reason, and I'm glad you got to say it the way that you wanted to.
Yes. So thank you, and I will reply to those who have not reached out, and also, if you're new or you're listening to this and want to jump back, it was like episode. I don't know what the episode number is, but the title is "It Was His Face on Britney Spears' Body." I would love to hear from you because I mentioned in the episode that a podcast was a big reason that I got the courage to just finally do this. So if you happen to be someone listening and need some encouragement, I'm very accessible.
Very. Yeah. And if you're not, subscribe to the YouTube channel for one. And if you are not following our Instagram, we definitely read all of the DMs that we get,
yes.
Even if they come in as like hidden, like we're looking at them.
We do always get to it.
We try to respond as much as we can. Obviously, we're not like rolling with 100,000 followers, so it's not that hard to see your messages.
Allison is rolling in the
millions.
I was gonna say like truly rolling in Instagram. Like you are busy on Instagram, for a job. So.
Yes. So yeah, we're looking at those, and we're trying to be a little bit more present on Instagram.
Yes.
So drop us a DM and make sure that you are following all of the things and that you are subscribed to the YouTube because we're working on that again. Thank you for sticking with us on that and allowing for us to like find the right flow for it, because it is like, we believe it or not, I am not a tech person, and I no longer live with someone who is, well, you're very good at it, but like Caleb is really good at cameras. Yeah. And so like I don't know what I'm doing, and
I know about lighting, but not so much about cameras,
settings on cameras. So yeah, we're trying to figure it out, and we apologize for the hiccups, but we appreciate you guys sticking with us.
And last thing I'd like to say is we realize that trauma is there's a lot of trauma in a lot of different ways, and maybe you've experienced a trauma that we haven't talked about but you would like to hear about. We want to expand the things we talk about beyond the things that have directly affected just us. Although we still have plenty of those. We know there's a lot. And if you would like to hear about a particular topic, or maybe you've gone through something and you just want to know if we can relate, something that we can bring up and talk about, and maybe talk to an expert about, we would love to start doing that. So we might put a questionnaire thing on Instagram. But if you're listening to this, shoot us a DM or an email, because I'd love to hear what you'd like to hear. For sure. At TraumatyPod. TraumatyPod@gmail.com. Yep. All of the things. And we, so again, this is a short episode. Thank you for listening. Hope you have a great Thursday. And we hope to be back up and operational by next week, assuming everyone's testing negative. We'll get Chloe back in here and we can have a good nice fill in on all that went down in Paris. In London. And until then, don't forget to clean your dryer vents. I'm Alex. I'm Allison. And this has been Traumedy. Yeah. Goodbye. When I laugh to get through it, don't feel bad for me. That's just my Traumedy.